Father's Day coming. What's the best Father's Day gift you ever got?
I guess a card made by my sons or whatever.
Nah, son. They ain't never get you no sneakers.
Nah.
You hoop. You play ball. They ain't get you a ball.
Nah. I ain't never got that.
No.
Nope.
A headband, wristband.
No.
How many kids you got?
Enough to have a starting five and a bench.
I mean,
starting five and a bench on the basketball team, literally.
And
biologically 5 sons. And
five sons,
then
yo.
I got the blended family with the 3 daughters and the 2 sons to combine. So that's 10. But 2 in the house, you know what I mean?
2 left in the crib.
That's it.
They all grown. Yo, we some fresh dads, yo. We don't look like what we've been through, yo.
Nah.
We don't look like what we've been through, babe. They knew what we've been through.
Then they would be.
They'd be like, yo, yeah, y'all boys is impressive.
It's a fact.
You look like what we've been through, yo. They don't even know. Father's Day, yo. I think the flyest Father's Day gift I ever got. I got some dope Father's Day. Like the ties. That's never been dope. You got cologne like sneakers before. But I like t-shirts. I'm gonna cut the sleeves off them, you know what I'm saying? You give me like a Wu-Tang t-shirt. Yeah. That's my vibe, you know what I'm saying? A Gangstar t-shirt. You know what I mean? That's my vibe, you know what I mean? I like tees. I want to say I got a pair of sneakers for Father's Day once. I got a tat for Father's Day.
And you doing better than me. But mostly, my kids know, family even knows. I don't even care about that like
that's
that.
not, we got to change that narrative, bro. No, we got to change that narrative. We got to start putting pressure on these families to love us more, yo. Love us the way we deserve to be loved, yo.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. For me, it comes back as the kids get older.
Okay.
They show all the love, you know what I'm saying? I get taken out to eat, and then
you better not be on the grill, son. We gotta let that go. We gotta let that go. Don't grill me no hot dogs and hamburgers on Father's Day, yo.
I don't even eat that.
We don't eat that. We don't eat that here. We don't eat that here, yo.
That's it. We live
a
healthy lifestyle.
All right? Don't cut me no pineapples on Father's Day. They already cut. You know what I'm saying? Don't cut me no watermelon on Father's Day. Because first of all, I'm not going to eat it in front of white people at work. I'm not going to do it. Op4 TV. I'm your host, Uncle Bill, here, my man D. The good brother D. What's good with you, champ? How you feeling?
No, another day in Hollywood.
Another day in Hollywood. You here. You know what I'm saying? The toxic layer with your boy. Op4 TV, yo. NBA Finals. We just watched Game 2. Wrapped up. Miami tied the series. What we looking like? What you think?
I still think that Denver has the advantage, but Miami, they tough.
Miami's very tough. We seen that Miami, like how while we were watching, you broke it down. The Eastern Conference teams, they seem to have an issue with finding consistent scoring.
Yeah, it's a lot to do with playing around the perimeter, not really having bigs. That's
the ball stick.
Yeah, that's a issue. Western Conference teams, they usually have a pick and roll basketball. There's a center, power forward, somebody with enough size to create opportunities, opportunities to score in the paint.
Yeah.
And in the Eastern Conference, that's kind of limited. You gotta, the better teams are typically who has that, but for the most part, man, you got out of the majority of the Eastern Conference teams is you're not really getting that from them.
Yeah. Especially once Milwaukee got bumped.
Yeah.
That was the team with the big that does the most creating for his offense probably on the Eastern Conference outside of Denver Nuggets and the Joker. What did we see Miami do tonight that really minimalized what the Joker was out there doing? Because he still had a good game, but for whatever reason, the reason was because Miami hit the shots. Like, they hit the threes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the Joker, he performed. He got his thing off. But what does Miami do to keep this going though?
Well, Miami, they stayed poised, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, on the road.
Jimmy Butler is a good leader.
Himmy buckets.
In the sense that he maintains his composure up or down, And then that paves the way for them to stay under control, so then they can find their rhythm or find their shots when teams are making it difficult for them. So then that's a part of their fight to get back into games or to gain control. And we saw that tonight. They gained
Henry Bucket. So you know he got that name trademark.
He's a smart man. He's
very
a smart man.
Yeah, remember in the bubble he was selling $20 worth of coffee, $20 cups of coffee for $20 because he said that he watched the players get they were getting like a stipend while they was in the bubble.
Yeah,
they'd get like 3,000 cash in hand, cash. Mom, he was like, I gotta find a way to get this money away from these dudes. He started selling $20 cups of coffee.
It sounded like something like they were in jail or something like that.
Yeah, they getting a per diem. Yeah. Shouts out to the finance folks out there.
That's
per diem, a lot of finance experience in front of y'all. You heard?
Yeah, a lot of it. That's it.
A lot of finance experiences, for real. Yeah, the NBA Finals, it turned out to be a good one. Who you got for the series? Come on, it's tied at 1-1 going back to Miami.
Now, Denver. I still think Denver's the better team.
Denver's the better team.
Yeah.
Miami going, how many games you thinking?
I think it'll make you 6. I think it'll be 4-2,
I got Miami in 6.
4-2. Oh, that well. That's
I got
cool.
Miami
I got
in 6.
Denver in 6.
I got Miami in 6. I think Miami stealing 1 in Denver makes a difference. I think Miami's bench plays better at home. It's going to be tough for Denver to steal 1. Denver has a more significant bench. They're like you said, they're a better team. But when it comes to coaching in the NBA Finals, that's what makes, to me, that's what makes all the difference. And we're gonna revisit that. The draft coming up. What are we looking at? What's the kid's name? Wham Babadoo, Babala Bamboo?
Wimbenyama.
Wimbenyama, French kid, 7'4", guard skills. He's looking to be drafted number 1. San Antonio got the first pick. What you think is going to happen?
San Antonio's going to get him, but he's still going to have to earn his stripes. He's still going to have to figure the pro game out at the NBA level. They hype off of him from international play and when he played against the G League. But I mean, that was early in the G League season. If you see a lot of these G League teams and the G League talent as the year goes on, they rev up and warm up and become and get opportunities to play up and then maybe come back down. And some of these teams have NBA veterans, so I don't think he would have looked the same given a full season against that same competition. Okay. And also stepping up in the NBA, he's gonna have to obviously get physically, grow physically, mature, because we've seen the same thing with guys that are his size. We saw it with Porzingis. We've seen it with guys like Bobo, and a few other guys that have skills, they have game, but they're still trying to find their way with those guard skills and that size against the physicality and the rigor of NBA competition, because they got to do 82 schedule. Games.
Yeah, the NBA schedule is what kills them. Yeah. That size, how many times we seen guys that over 7 feet tall with the foot problems?
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? How many times we've seen guys over 7 feet tall when it comes to being physical and they go down there in that paint, end up with shoulder and back issues.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He's got to get out ahead of that. But I think ultimately he has nobody better on the sideline to make it happen for him. Goes back to what I just said. In the finals, when it comes to coaching in the finals, who better than Popovich? Probably the only one with better record is Phil Jackson. So I feel like Wembanyama has a great opportunity here because he's with probably the best coach in basketball for real with Pop. And Pop is still recovering himself. Remember, he lost his wife maybe like less than 2 years ago. So he's had his mourning stage and dealing with that. I feel like they tanked this whole season and he probably had a lot of time off in comparison to what his usual workload is like. So he's ready to come back, and I think this is gonna be like the new version of Mike Tyson and Customato. Yeah. Mike Tyson and Customato right here. We got the old man and the young legs. Yeah. I would love to see it happen. I would love to see that story because, you know what I'm saying, I support light-skinned brothers and Wembanyama's light-skinned.
I also heard that Tim Duncan was going to be on the coaching staff, so that's just an increase in
Whatever. He ain't
experience.
got no record. He ain't got what Tim Duncan? Who's Tim Duncan coach?
No, he there for skills and player development. So
And
you
I
can
think
get
that's
a
what
player. You can work out with this young guy and give him tools that'll at least show him nuance that goes with the pro game, and he can get he can average healthy numbers to stay with the check, contract, be on roster. If San Antonio doesn't ride it all the way out with him, maybe give him a good 10, 15-year career. Hope and that's all potential.
That's a lot.
That's all
potential.
potential.
That's definitely potential. That's a lot. But I think it happens nowhere better than San Antonio if you really think about it. Like Tim Duncan was never asked to do a whole lot in his career. Like we knew Tim Duncan to hit the bank shot off the window. We knew him to drive with the running hook, the tip back dunks and stuff like that. The alley. He was never asked to do a lot. Like Tim Duncan's plate has never been on like what Minnesota asked KG to do.
I don't know about that. The system in San Antonio creates a kind of like an image where it seems like everybody is where they need to be all the time. They have everybody has their role. They can do what they need to do and they found success with that. But Tim Duncan, when he had David Robinson, he might not have had to shoulder as much.
Yeah.
But being truly a power forward who's had to play center in the latter half of his career, that is a lot. Because what a center has to do, we're looking at Nikola Jokic basically give you what Tim Duncan was giving you. Tim Duncan is not a scorer, and they had a team that could facilitate scoring for him, but rebounds when they count, baskets when they count, being able to find teammates, make right plays, critical defensive plays. There was a lot on Tim Duncan's plate. It just looked easy. When you're good at something, you can make it look easy.
Nah, I call cap, champ. I'm not feeling none of that, yo. Tim Duncan, KG is top 50 all time in points, rebounds, steals, blocks, and assists.
And then when he went to Boston,
he won because he actually got with a team that could facilitate and participate and maximize on all those talents, as opposed to Tim Duncan had all of that because he had Pop.
Well, he also was in a system and had a team, but they found success. So then, when you look at who had more championships, who had more opportunities for success in the league, you're obviously going to look at Tim. You can look at Tim Duncan and see that. That's not to knock KG. I like KG more than I like, or I'd say I have more admiration for KG's game than I did for Tim Duncan, because it was it was more. I could connect with it more. Tim Duncan was very fundamental, but KG took the fundamentals and that edge to a level that he got an MVP.
Yeah, and he earned that.
Playing in Minnesota, I mean, yeah.
And even in he wasn't Finals MVP in Boston.
I don't think so. I think it gave it to Paul Pierce.
Oh, they might give it to Paul Pierce. Yeah, they might have given it to Paul Pierce. Yeah. But they don't get that championship without KG because remember Rondo couldn't shoot then.
But they
had to do the screen. Yeah, they had Ray Allen, but the screen and roll wasn't effective. You can't get Rondo to the paint because everybody was lagging off of him. So to get the screen and roll off, they had to use KG, and they had to use KG shooting a 20-foot jumper. And that was before everything was analytics and everything was a three-pointer. But KG was consistently hitting that 20-foot jumper, and that's what kept Boston in a lot of those games when Paul Pierce with the slow and go, and Ray Allen if and when Ray Allen wasn't hitting.
That team was a real good team. I mean, that team pretty much had what most great teams have, and that's 2 to 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah. So it's championship level team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And sometimes we could say great teams because you got teams that didn't win championships, but they made good runs, or
Sacramento in those early 2000s.
Yeah, Sacramento.
Portland in those early 2000s. Come on, talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Portland Trailblazers with Clyde Drexler, even back in the day.
Yeah.
And even the Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns,
teams
yeah.
that lost to Chicago in the 90s,
yeah,
or didn't win championships. Seattle. I mean, these guys got guys that are Hall of Fame caliber.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
100%.
So great teams don't necessarily always get the job done. But
lost to the Bulls in the 90s. Let's talk about it. Mike versus LeBron. Who you got?
In comparison,
Mike versus LeBron. Who was greater?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mike. You know, it's just I gotta do it. Gotta go with Mike, yo.
But you could be smart. This is the options you choose. These are the options you have. Mike over LeBron?
Yeah. A lot of people. Okay. So when we talk about how I look at it now, you know, it's a different time. You look at the people make the Hall of Fame off of a total body of work, yeah?
Yeah, as well as
total body of work. So let's look at, for somebody to be called the greatest of all time in a sport of basketball, right?
Yes, sir.
The only sport where it's a team sport, but every player has to have like a boxer's ego in order to, you know, advance their game to such a high level. Okay. We look at the total body of work of Michael Jordan. We're talking about from high school all the way up into the pros, and then what he did in the pros and his impact overall. Mm-hmm. Mike has it. You wearing his sneakers right now.
Okay.
I got
Mike. I feel like Mike. I could wear Mike's sneakers because right now I'm not playing basketball, and I don't feel like Michael Jordan's shoes are really made for playing basketball, as opposed to LeBron's shoes. Them shits is basketball boots.
Okay.
That because that man go on the court and do work.
Okay.
Do work.
Okay.
All right. No. Let me answer your point. Answer your point. You said total body of work from high school. Who had higher expectations coming out of high school?
LeBron.
Not even close. They was putting LeBron from up out of high school. Remember in 10th grade, he had higher expectations. Agreed. He had higher expectations. Now what's harder to do? What's harder to do? To come up when no one's looking for you, nobody's checking for you, when you getting freaking cut from your 10th grade team?
I'll put it to you this way.
LeBron had a tough road because his expectations were through the roof. He was on Michael Jordan's workout team when Mike was coming back to play with the Bulls. When they come back to play with the Wizards. Remember they took him up to it was in a Slam magazine. He went up there with Michael Finley. Michael Finley was and Eddie Jones and all these guys was up, and Ray Allen. All these guys were part of Mike's workout crew to get him for his comeback to the NBA. And LeBron was in that crew, yo. He was in 10th grade.
I mean, okay.
And he took those expectations from there, and he didn't crumble. He never faltered. He's just been excellent ever since. We talk about he's been in the NBA for 20 years, but we talk about over 20 years that LeBron James has been in our lives at this point.
The one thing that I argue when it comes down to supporting Michael Jordan, saying that he would be the greatest basketball player at this particular point in time, it's the manner in which the greatness came to him. It wasn't given to him. It wasn't something that was built. So there was no media engine to propagate before he earned what it was to give everybody the feeling or the warm and fuzzy or whatever you want to call it, to say, yo, this guy's the greatest. He never said he was the greatest. LeBron said he was the greatest after something happened in a game. He said, I knew I was the greatest of all time. You've never had Wilt Chamberlain. You've never had Michael Jordan. You've never had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or anybody else put in the GOAT conversation claim to be the greatest. That's the people's choice for that title. And the reason why I say Mike is because Michael Jordan is the reason why shorts, the style of basketball, even some of the aspects of the game of basketball at the pro level had to be altered or changed. LeBron hasn't done anything that impacts. Children don't mimic LeBron when they play basketball.
Because they can't.
Well, I'm gonna say, what is it that LeBron does that a young child will mimic in today's game? That's not an aspect of his game.
Bro, because they can't.
What,
The kids,
what,
a
rubbing
kid
his hand
can't take
together and throwing chalk up in the air.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
So what are they mimicking from Jordan? What are we mimicking from Jordan?
Oh wait! I'm gonna tell you. Kids nowadays, in today's era, who look at the game, they mimic Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
They mimic other players that are much more whose attributes are more obtainable. LeBron is physically gifted in a way that most people don't see themselves being LeBron, even if they get to be 6'8". Their body and their mobility and things of that nature. So he's a physically gifted person. Now, what we forget about is Michael Jordan is physically gifted. It's just the way that Michael Jordan manifested those physical gifts. He had one of the highest vertical leaps in NBA history, 48-inch vertical leap. But yet and still, we see highlights of him jumping from outside of the lane, floating and doing crazy moves and stuff like that around 7-foot-plus guys and doing exceptional in-game moves and things like that. He set a tone. So what LeBron had to go off of, or the standard that was set, Mike set that. So LeBron has exceeded certain things, but he didn't. But in the eyes of many, he hasn't outshined his predecessor.
Well, because
he hasn't outshined him.
He to me, he has outshined Mike, and this is why. Because LeBron, and I kind of hinted toward this earlier, he's been in our lives for over 20 years, and he's been perfect for over 20 years. This dude we've watched his children grow up. Because he came into our lives at 18, he's only been with Savannah, his wife. No scandals, no outside, no accusations of him smashing Tony Braxton. You know what I'm saying? No accusations of him having outside children, aka Hemi Butler.
Oh, yes.
That's Michael Jordan's son. Don't you do that. It's a fact. Jimmy Butler was born in Houston, and Mike was in Houston 9 months before Jimmy Butler was born to play the Rockets with 3-day layoff. That's his boy.
Yo, you stupid.
That's that man's boy. Don't do that, yo. LeBron has been perfect. He don't got no outside kids. And the dude is literally worth $1 billion.
Okay, we're in a world and at a time where there's people who are worth billions of dollars who are coming up in entertainment. Now, given the time, whatever Mike was earning from Nike, $100 million a year, and the things that were going on back in the 90s, that was the equivalent to that. But these things are made more public. Like us watching Michael Jordan's sons somewhat come up after him or in his footsteps.
Jimmy Butler was the only one that could hoop. All Bron kids could hoop. Jimmy Butler, the only one out of Michael Jordan kids that could hoop. Them other two dudes is little and they trash.
Well, one of them is dating Scottie Pippen's ex.
That's petty.
That's
Mike being petty. Now I'll give that to you, and I give that to you. That's where they even at. That's where they even at. Mike was like, "Oh, Scotty, you want to run your mouth? Hey, yo, Junior, go smash his wife."
Yeah.
And then LeBron got what's my man from right here in Maryland, the redhead dude.
Oh,
and he smashed LeBron's moms.
Oh yeah, Delonte West. And
LeBron poisoned his food or something. They got that dude. That dude's under a highway right now, saying his ABCs backwards. Right now,
with a basketball still and can't miss.
He can't miss. Super locked in. Yo, but ultimately, to me, the difference between the success in their careers is to me, if LeBron had got the opportunity to play with Phil Jackson, I feel like he would have 10 rings. If LeBron got the opportunity to play with Popovich, I feel like he would have had 10 rings. We don't know a coach that without the Bulls, when Michael Jordan left, they was one bad call away from going back to the Eastern Conference Finals. When LeBron leaves the team, they go straight to the lottery. They go get Kyrie Irving. Like LeBron leaves the team, they go they instantly turn to trash. Like you know what I'm saying? Well, the Bulls without Mike had 55 wins. Sorry, Phil Jackson is the reason why those teams are successful to me, because Kobe never won without Phil, Mike never won without Phil.
Right. Well, how it goes in basketball is that it's still a team game.
Still a
So
team game.
just the same as LeBron has been on numerous teams that had Hall of Fame players, many guys that we would or were built in a way where we would assume that on paper that team was a shoe-in for an NBA Finals or a championship.
How many Hall of Fame coaches?
And
How many Hall of Fame coaches?
I'm not concerned about the Hall of Fame coaches.
That's my only point. Mike played with one Hall of Fame coach, and he had all his championships on that one Hall of Fame coach. LeBron, Hall of Fame coach, at this point in time, would probably be Spo.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: players play, coaches coach. That's what I was always told, right?
100%.
A coach has a team of people that assist in helping them make decisions. It's not just the coach and then all of their strategies, because it was Tex Winter's play scheme that gave them the triangle offense. It wasn't Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson didn't have that success in New York. But yeah, in that GOAT conversation, it's who the people choose. So I think that they both are the greatest of all time. Just depends on who you talk to.
Get in the comments. Let me know how you feel. This is Op4 TV. We out.
Peace.